Once upon a time, there was a poor farmer who lived in a small village. He worked hard every day, but he barely had enough to feed his family. One day, as he was plowing his field, he hit something hard with his hoe. He dug it out and saw that it was a large clay pot. He wondered if there was anything valuable inside, so he opened the lid and looked inside. To his surprise, he found that the pot was filled with gold coins. He was overjoyed and thanked his lucky stars for this unexpected fortune. He decided to take the pot home and share it with his wife and children. He hid the pot under his cloak and started walking towards his house. On his way, he met a beggar who asked him for some money. The farmer felt sorry for him and decided to give him 1 gold coin from the pot. He opened the lid and took out a coin. He handed it to the beggar and closed the lid. He was about to resume his journey when he heard a clinking sound from the pot. He opened the lid again and saw that the coin he had taken out was back in the pot. He was amazed and wondered if the pot was magical.
He decided to test it again. He took out another coin and gave it to the beggar. He closed the lid and heard the same sound. He opened the lid and saw that the coin had returned. He realized that the pot was indeed magical and that it could produce unlimited gold coins. He was ecstatic and thought that he had become the richest man in the world. He thanked the beggar and told him to keep the 2 coins he had given him. He then ran towards his house, eager to tell his wife and children about his discovery. He reached his house and called out to his family. He showed them the pot and told them how he had found it and what it could do. They were all astonished and overjoyed. They hugged him and praised him for his good luck.
The farmer decided to keep the pot a secret and not tell anyone else about it. He thought that if others knew about it, they would try to steal it or harm him and his family. He hid the pot under his bed and told his wife and children not to touch it or tell anyone about it. He planned to use the gold coins gradually and wisely, without attracting too much attention. The next day, he took out a few coins from the pot and went to the market. He bought some food, clothes, and other necessities for his family. He also paid off some of his debts and helped some of his poor neighbors. He returned home and put the pot back under his bed. He did the same thing for the next few days, until he had improved his living conditions and earned the respect and admiration of his fellow villagers. However, he soon became greedy and wanted more. He thought that he deserved to live like a king, since he had a magical pot that could make him rich. He decided to take out more coins from the pot and buy more luxurious things. He bought a bigger house, a horse, a carriage, and expensive clothes and jewelry. He also hired servants and guards to attend to him and his family. He stopped working in his field and spent his time enjoying his wealth and power. He also became arrogant and rude. He looked down on his old friends and neighbors and treated them with contempt. He refused to help anyone in need and demanded respect and obedience from everyone. He forgot his humble origins and his gratitude for the pot. He thought that he was better than everyone else and that he could do whatever he wanted. His wife and children also changed. They became spoiled and selfish. They wasted money on frivolous things and ignored the needs of others. They also became proud and haughty. They disrespected their father and fought with each other. They forgot their love and harmony and their appreciation for the pot. They thought that they were entitled to everything and that they could do whatever they wanted. One day, a stranger came to the village. He was a traveler who had heard about the farmer and his wealth. He was curious and wanted to see for himself. He disguised himself as a poor man and went to the farmer's house. He knocked on the door and asked for some water. The farmer's wife opened the door and saw him. She was disgusted by his appearance and his request. She slammed the door in his face and told him to go away. The stranger was angry and decided to teach her a lesson. He knocked on the door again and asked for some food. The farmer's wife opened the door again and saw him. She was furious and insulted him. She threw some rotten food at him and told him to get lost. The stranger was enraged and decided to take revenge. He knocked on the door a third time and asked for some money. The farmer's wife opened the door a third time and saw him. She was livid and cursed him. She took out a gold coin from the pot and threw it at him. She told him to take it and never come back. The stranger caught the coin and smiled wickedly. He thanked her and told her that he would never come back. He then revealed his true identity and told her that he was a wizard who had given the pot to the farmer as a test. He told her that he had wanted to see how the farmer and his family would use the pot and whether they would remain humble and generous or become greedy and selfish. He told her that he was disappointed and disgusted by their behavior and that he had decided to take back the pot and its magic. He told her that the coin she had thrown at him was the last coin the pot would ever produce and that from now on, the pot would be just an ordinary clay pot. He then snapped his fingers and disappeared, along with the pot. The farmer's wife was shocked and terrified. She screamed and called for her husband and children. They came running and saw what had happened. They were all horrified and devastated. They realized that they had lost their source of wealth and happiness and that they had wasted their chance to live a good and meaningful life. They also realized that they had alienated and offended everyone in the village and that they had no friends or supporters. They regretted their greed and selfishness and wished they could undo their mistakes. But it was too late. The pot was gone and so was the wizard. They were left with nothing but their guilt and shame. They cried and begged for forgiveness, but no one listened or cared. They were shunned and despised by everyone. They had to sell their house and belongings and move to a hut. They had to work hard and struggle to survive. They had to face the consequences of their actions and learn their lesson. They had to live with their sorrow and remorse for the rest of their lives. The end.